Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Handhelds. I'm Joey, and today we're going to take a first impressions look at the TECNO Pocket Go, which is this controller. It's actually a computer, and it also includes some glasses, so we'll talk about it. So again, this isn't a controller as much as it looks like one, and it acts like one, and it does all of the controller things that you'd expect it to do. It actually is an actual computer inside. So think of a GPD Win Mini or GPD Win 4. It's a very small form factor device that has no screen, but the power of a Ryzen 8840HS. And yeah, I said the 8840HS. It puts it on par with an Asus ROG Ally X for performance. And this even goes up to a 30-watt TDP. It has Radeon 780M graphics, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a 512GB SSD, 50 watt-hour battery, and it's replaceable, so you can actually replace this battery. It doesn't even come delivered installed. You put it in yourself. That's crazy. There is Hall effect joysticks, Hall triggers, 2 USB-C ports with a micro SD card slot, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth, Windows, and it only weighs 550 grams. It's actually really light. 550 grams puts it less than pretty much every other x86 device. Now again, you might be thinking, where is the screen? Because there is no screen, and that's why they bundled in the glasses, because they're including AR glasses for you to use with this, along with the fact that you could connect this to a TV, you can connect this to other devices, just monitors, whatever you want. It's not limited to just one item like glasses. Now these glasses here have micro OLED inside, 215-inch screen, which once again, when we talk about screen sizes, we don't really know what the actual size is, but it's big. Myopia adjustment dials, and the usual that you'd come to expect from AR glasses. It has all of the basic features. Now you might be wondering what this entire bundle costs, and it is going to run you $1,699 US through their Kickstarter, which I believe starts tomorrow or the 16th, if I remember correctly. So yeah, 1,700 big ones for these two. And you have to remember again that they are including the glasses here. Usually when we talk about just devices, we're just assuming it's the actual mini PC, the x86, whatever it is, but they're including the glasses as well. And so is it worth $1,700 US? We'll talk about it. So let's separate it out, and we're going to talk about the controller part first. And what's cool about this, again, is you don't have to use the AR glasses if you don't want to. You could just use this connected to a TV, and I did that for most of my playtime, and connect it to other AR glasses if you have them. So it makes me wonder if they're going to sell this as a separate SKU on its own, because that would be my thought for people who don't want the AR glasses to just sell this on its own, but I'm not sure they're going to do that. It seems like they want to have this as a bundle selling option, and I'm not sure what SKUs they're going to be having. Now, I've had limited time with this, which is the reason why this is just going to be a first impressions video, but let's talk about the controls. The sticks themselves are full-size sticks, they're Hall effect, and they have a good range of motion. They actually feel really good to use, and I like them quite a bit. They're not too stiff, they have just enough resistance, and overall they're pretty good. The D-pad and buttons, however, are going to be controversial. They are mouse click buttons. They're switch. It's a weird decision. I'm not sure the reasoning why, but that is instantly going to turn off a lot of people. I think most would be fine with it on the D-pad end, but the buttons end, to have them as micro switch and just mouse clicks, probably not great for a lot of people. On the shoulders and triggers end, they actually feel pretty great. The triggers have a very wide range of motion, and the shoulders are a nice combination of not too mushy and not too clicky. It's a good balance. Now, the software end is why this video is mostly an impressions video instead of a review. The device isn't out yet. It is pre-release, and I've run into a number of software bugs and issues that have made me just split this video into two parts. So the review is going to come later. Plus, I just didn't get a lot of time coming back from vacation, and this needed a quick turnaround. So want to follow this up with a second video that is more of a full-length review. So TECNO has their own included launcher, as well as a sidebar, and all of the fun stuff that we've come to expect across x86 devices. As you'd expect, it is pretty bare bones at the start, and like I mentioned, it does have quite a few bugs. Now, the controller has a ton of hotkeys that you need to memorize to move your way around Windows, as well as their launcher software, And I've had a lot of occasions where things would just lose focus, or the hotkey wouldn't work, or it would be delayed, and so on. Now, these glasses are a whole other different beast, and it goes back to my thought before of I would love to see the controller PC, whatever it's called, shipped separately, then the glasses, because I think this is the weakest part of this equation. Now, I've done a lot of different reviews on glasses at this point. The Vitcher XR Pros are my favorite. The Rayneo Air 2Ss are good. They have really good speakers. They're decent glasses. These feel like a step behind. They feel like first generation glasses in a way. They don't seem to have that edge clarity technology that others now have, where it makes the edges a lot more clear. For some reason, this feels like it's a first generation AR glass prototype, and it just brings me back to that. So I would love to see without these included, because I feel like they're the weakest part here. I don't find them super comfortable. They're limited to 60 hertz, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff that just makes me look at it like a first generation AR glasses. Now, I haven't done any in-depth battery testing because, again, this is just a first impressions video. This has a 50 watt-hour battery. It is replaceable, removable. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could buy a couple of them and just keep them on you. But I think for the most part, battery life from what I've been seeing is more in line with what we expect at this battery size. So at 50 watt hours, this goes up to 30 watt TDP. Gonna see about an hour and a half, 2 hours max for max wattage TDP games. On the low end, probably around 5 to 6 hours from what I've been seeing for TDP and all of that, but it really depends. So gonna leave that for my review on more in-depth battery testing. Now I can say that the fan does get quite loud in a lot of situations, but thankfully it is more air pushing out noise than coil whine. I don't think that's going to change anybody's thoughts on who hates fan noise altogether, like myself, but it is a much better option as opposed to just straight coil whine. The fan actually does a very good job at keeping the heat low. You would expect to feel a lot of heat with something this compact and small, but I haven't really felt that at all. The heat is congregating where the battery is, and with how you hold the device, you don't really have your hands there. So it actually is in a really good spot for you to just enjoy this device and not feel heat. It was nowhere near the GPD Win Mini or GPD Win 4 in heat levels, put it that way. On the performance end, and I mentioned it before, but this is theoretically on par with the Ally X and other devices like that, because we've seen the 8840 processor now quite a bit. And so this is the 8840HS, and from my testing, it seems to be in line with what I'm expecting here performance-wise. I'm not seeing any throttling, I'm not seeing anything like that that would indicate there's anything different here compared to other devices that are using the same processor. So anyways, that's my quick first impressions. Gonna leave a lot more for the review. Like I said, this seems to go out on Kickstarter for $1,699 US. Tomorrow or the day after, 15th or 16th, not too sure, but just check out my description. I'll have a link there. Should go live, and I'll do a tweet and all that when it does go live. It's up to you if it's something that you want to back right away, or maybe wait a little bit longer. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Kickstarter, I would suggest looking up pros and cons as well as risks associated with Kickstarter projects, just so you're comfortable enough with it if this is something that you want. Otherwise, keep an eye out for my review and we'll go from there. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about retro handhelds and glasses and all of this fun stuff. Support me on Patreon if you like my stuff. And hope you all have a good one.